Hi, my name is Kevin Winn. I am the CEO of MoveWell, and on November 2nd, I'll be running the Pinhoti 100-mile trail race.
So how has it changed from when you first started running, and how has it kind of evolved?
Yeah, so I first started running because I knew I needed to do something differently. Like, I was not happy with who I was as a person. I was struggling in my relationship with God, my relationships with other people. But I think ultimately I was just struggling with my relationship with myself. I just wasn't happy with who I was. And I needed something to challenge myself. I needed to have a win. I'd never run more than 10 miles before, and I signed up for an ultra marathon, a 50K, which is kind of your entry-level ultra marathon. And I was doing it more just to prove something to myself. And I was doing it, I think, to get attention, to be honest with you. I wanted to show how hardcore I was by being able to challenge myself and overcome something. And I tell you what, it was miserable. I hated it. I hated the whole thing. It was terrible. It was a terrible experience. I didn't train well. My body hurt. And I remember after I finished it, I told my wife, I was like, I'm never going to do that again, ever. So when I finished that race, I didn't run for 2 months afterwards. And I started missing it. I started missing, working towards something. I started missing the routine. I started missing the fitness that I had gained. I started noticing myself slip backwards. And I want you to know, before I was running, I'd put on 35 pounds. I was not on a healthy trajectory whatsoever. And so I signed up for another one. And the next year, actually the same race. And I didn't train great again, didn't have a great experience with that one either. And I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy the training. I didn't need the training. The training was something I didn't necessarily want to do. And that's why I didn't do well in the races, because I was I kind of dreaded all of it. I didn't understand the beauty of running. I just wanted the self-recognition, or to be able to say that I had done an ultra marathon, or aesthetically it looked different. I wanted my body to change. I wanted to lose some weight and stuff too. But I still don't think I had unlocked what I know now about running. I was doing it for a lot of real surface level reasons, and now I think I've come to understand the bigger picture of it. So running now to me it's therapeutic, it's spiritual, it's so much bigger than the physical act. And I remember when I first started running, of course I love running on trails, and I used to say that, man, the woods are calling me, the woods are calling me. And now I realize, no, it's God calling me into the woods. It's God calling me into this remote setting. It's God calling me into this quiet time so I can be one with Him and hear Him more clearly. And that's totally what running is now. It's a time for me to clear all the noise, to strip everything down to just basics. And sometimes when you're running and especially when you're hurting, just taking the next step is really hard, and you can't think much further ahead. You can't think about all the other stuff that's going around. And so running makes things really, really simple. And it's the time that I pray. It's a time that I feel so close to God. It's a time that I feel clarity. It's a time that I can physically challenge or punish myself in a sense and unify myself with Christ's suffering that He suffered on the cross. And in those moments, I feel like I see Christ so much more clearly, and I can feel and hear Him so much more clearly. And so running is so much bigger now than just the physical part of it. It's essential for my spiritual well-being. And that's why I just keep coming back every day. That's why I keep challenging myself. That's why I signed up for this race, because you don't understand God more fully in an ultra than a 100-miler. And I was craving that. I just wanted that. I wanted the push. I wanted the challenge. And I'm excited to embark on it.
So I'm running up through the middle of Western Kentucky's campus to simulate running some trails. And I ran into my man, Jerry Adams, preaching the gospel to some students. So it's pretty awesome. So I'm trying to run some steps and stairs to best simulate a trail to the middle of the city. This is something I typically do when I don't have great access to trails, but I'm trying to train for a hard effort on a trail. I call them city trails, and I just make up random routes to the alleys and sidewalks of town in Western Kentucky's campus. I got a great spot to do it. All right, so got 4 miles in, lots of climbing, just over 32 minutes. Legs felt really good actually on the uphills. And so just a quick one, heading to the house, gonna change really fast, and we're gonna load up the kids and head to the circus. And then maybe, just maybe, I'll get some miles in tonight, but if not, that's okay. I'm just gonna try to do some extra in the morning tomorrow. Guys, where are we about to go?
The circus!
Are you excited?
Yes!
What are you gonna see there?
Elephants!
Camels?
Camels and elephants.
What are you gonna see, Asher?
Tigers and elephants and camels. Elephants.
What do you think, Ava? Asher, what do you think, buddy? Asher,
What?
what do you think?
I see the camel lights.
Is it cool?
Yeah.
All right, so I'm just getting started, about an hour behind schedule. We had a great time at the circus last night, almost too much fun because nobody slept last night. Everybody was eating cotton candy and they were all hyped up afterwards. So gonna give in what I can this morning. I'm shooting for at least 6. Hopefully I can go up to 10, it depends on when the kids wake up. So I'm gonna be running close to the house after a few miles. That way I'm close to home if they wake up. I got a busy day today. Unfortunately, we have to go to a funeral out of town, so got to get things wrapped up so we can get on the road. We're gonna get going. So this is one of my favorite routes to run in the whole city of Bowling Green. It's just a couple miles from my house. I live right in the city, FYI, but I'm on Ewing Ford Road, and you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. I see deer out here all the time. A gorgeous morning. Something about running this route. I've been running this route for about 7 years, and I just have memories flood back from different parts of my life every time I'm on this route. I literally like run down memory lane. But what I'm reflecting on today, I've been listening to a daily reading from an app, a program I use called Exist 90, and they're just talking about God's love and how much He loves us, and it's been an overwhelming feeling that I've had lately. I just did a retreat at a monastery, and I realized I can't even fathom God's perfect love for me. I can't even understand how much He loves me. And at the beginning of the retreat, a monk asked us, how does God save you? And now I know it's because I couldn't answer it at first, by the way. I wanted to give the stereotypical answer of God saves me through dying on the cross, being resurrected, and all that kind of stuff. The theological answer, but He said, no. How does He save you personally? And I realized He saves me personally through His perfect love, because He loves me so much that I don't even know how to love myself like that. Oh, here you go, look. We got some deer right here. Beautiful. But at our race, I was overwhelmed by just the power of human connection, and one of the runners gave me a hug afterwards. It was the strongest, like he literally like cracked my ribs. He hugged me so hard, and thinking about how that person hugged me, just thinking about how much God loves me, it doesn't even compare to that. So that's on my brain this morning, and a gorgeous morning. And this is typically, I usually run, pray, I say the rosary. I'm a Roman Catholic, so rosary is a big part of my faith. So typically I say the rosary. Today I'm listening to some devotionals that I'm behind on, but it's usually that, rosary, or silence. All right, so plan worked out perfectly. I was on our road heading back home and got the text from Amanda that this little thing had just woken up. Can you say hi, Ella? Yeah, good girl. So I was able to get 10 miles in. That was the goal. So excited about that. I'm gonna be heading up to Greensboro, Kentucky here in a bit to go to the funeral. It's Wednesday, so I'll be taking a cold shower. So I'm taking cold showers on Wednesdays and Fridays right now. Wednesdays in honor of Jesus being turned over by Judas, and Fridays in honor of his passion. So doing that right now, just to remember Christ's suffering, his sacrifice. I usually finish every run, if I can, in this room here. This is we call it the clean room. It's the one room in the house that we try to keep pretty clean. And usually finish with some stretching and prayer time. She keep waving here. It's a special room. But great run, great morning. Super blessed today. And even more blessed to come home to this.
I guess what I want you to get is just like a belief in yourself of like, I can do a lot more than I think I can physically, but also to see that, you know, through hard things, through challenging ourselves, we're going to unite ourselves with Christ, and that's going to make us a better person, a better version of ourselves.
All right, Kevin.
All
What do you got us into today?
We are at the Houchin Ferry, Mammoth Cave National Park. You see the river down there?
Yep.
We're going to swim across the river. We're going to run up a gravel road and get onto the trails from there. So starting with it, and then we'll do some loops and then come back, swim across the river, finish. That's what we're getting into.
That's how we spend our Friday afternoons at Moo
So
Well.
I've got
finishing up.
my dry bag here. We're going to throw our stuff in this, Logan,
All right.
as we wade across the river.
All right.
And then we'll get it back out when we get there.
Easy
So we
enough.
got to dump all this junk out.
This is a heck of an adventure today. And then our Friday, getting ready for the weekend. Gonna go across the Green River, right?
Green River.
Green River here. And then we're gonna hop on some trails over there, get some big miles in. I know our wives appreciate us spending our afternoon like this, so. Oh, it's great practice, yeah. Well, it's like people go, that's what just crushes people's feet, creek crossings, man.
Oh my.
Slick. Should wear my Gingy socks today.
So we're going, see that, like that little tree that sticks up in the middle?
Yeah.
That's where we're trying to go.
Okay. All right.
I usually start here, the current's not too bad. You know, the current will take you a little bit.
Okay.
We got a canoe too. Need to get more of it.
Yeah.
Just canoe across. Because honestly, if you just park out on a Is that really good?
Good jaw. Is that a tooth?
Yeah.
It kind of looks like it, huh?
That's a jaw. It's a pretty long line here.
Waterlogged shoes too.
All right, we are 2.75 miles in on the, I'm not sure what trail this is. I think this is McCoy Hollow, Mammoth Cave National Park. You get beautiful views like this. You can't really see it this time of year, but the Green River is just right down there, the one we crossed when we started. Usually in the winter, you can see that river below.
I think we're at like almost 700 feet of climbing too. Getting close to that.
Big climbs. You show the camera down here. Tons of rocks and roots.
Super technical.
This is very similar to what I'll be running 100 miles on in less than a month. So this is a great outing out here for that. I'm hoping to, like, next weekend come out here and do a really long run on this. But man, it feels so good out here. It's like 70 degrees maybe.
It's perfect. No humidity.
No humidity. Fall's just started.
Feet are still waterlogged from the Green River. Good practice.
Still good though. Yeah.
Yeah, good practice.
Yeah, it's great.
Let's get as many miles in as we can before we gotta get back to the wife and kids. As Kevin Winn says, this is real life. We're running here, and this is also, note this is also a horse trail. If you look closely, you see a little bit of blue sticking up over there because that mud just ate my shoe off my foot. I better pause my Garmin. Almost 4 miles in. You wanna grab that for me, Kevin?
Messed up our pace.
Goodness, man.
Oh,
Oh, you're gonna lose yours now.
oh man, it's in there.
Oh my god. Look at that thing. Oh my gosh, dude.
About a pound of mud.
That is like caked. Goodness. think we're at about almost 1,200 feet or more right now.
Wow.
Solid. Yeah. That'd be sweet. All right, we just hit the 8.5 mile mark. We're zooming these downhills right now, opening the legs up. We went 4.5 miles out and then turned around. So we should get about 9 miles before we get back to the creek. We
The river, Logan.
or the river, sorry, the Green River. We had, yeah, we had to wrap it up a little earlier for family arrangements, but feels good out here today. Perfect weather, isn't it?
Yeah, it feels good. My legs, we were saying earlier, I feel like we could go forever.
Yeah.
Did you film any of that switchback?
No, I didn't. Dang, I
This
should.
switchback, it was an uphill switchback that I've never been able to run the whole thing continuously. So I told Logan, I was like, okay, I'm gonna see a good test of my legs. And I ran it continuously. It felt fine, honestly, at the top. So that was a good confidence booster.
It's about 3/4 of a mile.
Yeah. So that was encouraging. It made
Yeah.
me feel good.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I feel great on the downhill, obviously.
Oh yeah, legs opening up. Just about 4/10 of a mile left before we get to the river. We'll cross that again and head home. Woo! There we go. Quick little recap before we cross the water. How was it?
It was great, man. Yeah.
9 miles. It was an hour and 40 minutes, pretty much.
How much?
Back across we go, boys. I will say, this feels pretty incredible after that big effort. And I didn't take my shirt off, so it's gonna be soaked.
There we go.
This will get our legs ready. Good God. Not fish food today, boys.
Good morning. It is 4 a.m. I'm not sure of the date, but I'm 2 weeks out from my race, like October 20th maybe. Heading out to Mammoth Cave National Park. Gonna get my last really long run in before the race. So shooting for about 30 miles today. I start on the Cedar Sink Trail, run that to the road to Joppa Ridge Road, into the front country of the trail, then maybe hit up a little bit of the rail trail, and then turn on back. So out and back today, 15 miles each way. I just want to really punish my legs. I'm going to hit some pretty big climbs today, which will be good because the Pinhoti has got tons and tons of climbing. So I want to test my body out a little bit, see how that goes. I got my new running vest. Bought some bottles at Nat's Outdoor Sports in Bowling Green, Kentucky last night. I want to give them a shout out because they're the best to put in my vest. So just trying out a whole new kind of running system. Want to make sure I have that dialed in before the big race. So anyways, looking forward to it. Excited to get a little bit of running in the dark for maybe a couple hours or something like that before the sun comes up. Try out the headlamp. So it's just a good test run today. Conditions today are probably pretty similar to what the Pinhoti is going to be. So I'm excited. One of the things I always eat pre-race or pre-big run is peanut butter and jelly. My magic trick here. So getting PB&J down. Hopefully I feel nice and fueled for today. But it's the perfect combo. You got a little bit of protein, a little bit of carbs. Doesn't make you feel sick. Keep it down really well. So I've been doing this trick for about 7 years before every race, and whoops, it's not failed me yet. PB&J, it's the way to go. I got this dry bag that I carry all my junk in. I just dumped it all out. Just going through, getting some of the essentials. I got a couple of gels out, got a couple electrolyte. We'll put some electrolyte pills in there. I think other than that, most of this other stuff I don't really need. I got my headlamp on. I got some extra batteries. Should be good to go. All right, so I am driving back from Mammoth Cave National Park. I meant to get some on-trail running
But I decided to listen to a podcast, and don't normally do that. I listened to 45 minutes, and after that I had 1% phone battery left. So I guess the iPhone 8 isn't getting it done anymore. So anyways, I had 1% after like 8 miles, so I didn't want to kill my phone the rest of the run just in case I needed it. But man, I felt awesome. 4:49, ran a 50K. So I ended up I got back, I did 30 miles and I felt so good. I went ahead and just busted out one more mile. So it's the second fastest 50K I've ever run, and felt pretty awesome about that. Got some good climbing in. My last mile was my fastest mile of the whole day. I ran a 7:47 mile at the end. Negative split, so the second 25K of the 50K was faster than the first. And it was an outback run, so similar terrain both ways. So I couldn't feel any better where I'm at now. You never know what's going to happen on race day. So we're 13 days out from race day, so you never know. I mean, I could get out there and feel terrible, but definitely a good confidence booster. I had a lot of fun too. Like, I don't feel sick. My fueling was perfect. I ate a peanut butter and jelly in the morning. I had filled up both my water bottles, and that was perfect. That's the first time I've had that running vest, so I was kind of testing that out, so that worked out perfect. I had a BPN Go gel after about 8 miles and a Slim Jim. I had some salt capsules, so I had 6 of those. I took 2 like every hour and a half or something like that, I guess. Somewhere every hour, I don't know. Something like that. So in total, I had a Slim Jim, 2 BPN Go gels, a granola bar, 2 Twizzlers, and some salt capsules, electrolyte capsules. Like, no stomach issues, no cramps, no blisters. Body felt just as good at the beginning as it did at the end. A little tired, obviously, at the end, but had a ton of fuel still left. Definitely had more in the tank. So feel pretty good. Now I'm heading back to the house. We got a few hours, and then we are heading to Nashville, actually. My wife and I, it's our 14th wedding anniversary. Well, it was on Wednesday, so a couple days ago. But we're going to see a concert, our favorite band called Copeland. So they're playing at the Nashville Symphony, with the Nashville Symphony. So it's a 10-year anniversary of their album Exora, and it's our just all-time favorite band. It's like our song when we were dating. It was our first dance. I think this is like the 6th time I've seen him in concert. So really excited about that. So it'll be a long day. Started the morning early this morning. We'll get back late tonight, and then get after it tomorrow. So it's gonna be a long day, but I feel really good. It's a beautiful day out, sun's out. Can't ask for much more.
So at my house, on my mirror, so we've got a double vanity in our bedroom, and on my small mirror, I've got several things that I taped on it January 1st of this year, 2024. I have my future eulogy, so basically the life I want to live. I have a quote from my wife that she told me this really stung in a good way. She said, "I don't want to just go on dates, I want you to date me," because I had a goal of taking her on a date every week, but I was more just checking the box. And so I just want to remind myself of that. And then I move over to the right side of my mirror, and I've got my goals for the year. And then I have, so there's a lot of faith stuff in there. There's a lot of family stuff. There's running stuff. A lot of different stuff, and then that's followed by a prayer that I pray every day as well by Thomas Merton. But going to my goals, it says on there I'm going to run 100 miles on November 2nd. So whether I was going to do this race, or if I didn't have the funds, if I was just going to do it at home on the road or local trail or whatever, I was going to do 100 miles this year, because I felt like I just needed it. I felt like I've come to discover that I get so much more from running than just a physical act. When I started running, I guess it's been like 9 years ago, I knew I needed to make some changes physically. And then when I started doing that, and I started, seeing my fitness improve and my confidence improve, I was really proud, in not a good way. I was doing it for all the wrong reasons. I was trying to get kudos on Strava and be the king of the mountain and be the top person on different segments. And I wanted people to notice when I was having success. I wanted people to see me improving, and not because I wanted to inspire them, just because I wanted to do it because I wanted to feel cool. I mean, I'll be honest, like, and that's why I did it. And I remember like going out and running and stressing about my pace because I wanted to look faster, so people would perceive me as being this really good athlete or like this hardcore person or whatever. It's just so funny now to think back on it, and I don't run for any of those reasons anymore. And I'm not going to say that, when you talk about doing a 100-mile race, that it feels kind of cool when you tell people that. I think anybody that's done them, I mean, you're proud of yourself, right? Like, you're proud of yourself, but I don't do it for that now. Although sometimes those selfish ambitions do kind of, or prideful kind of things do creep in occasionally. I'm not going to lie. But the reason I do it now is because it just makes me a better person. It gives me space to unplug, to simplify my life into one step after the other. And when I'm there and I'm struggling physically or mentally, suffering a little bit, it helps unite me to Christ's sacrifice. I mean, and I just remember, gosh, God loved me so much that he died on a cross for me. And this is just like this tiny artificial, I'm like making myself, it's not even like, this is like self-inflicted artificial discomfort. But I just think about that as I'm feeling that. I was like, gosh, if Jesus can carry a cross after he's been beaten and all the stuff up a mountain and then sacrifice himself for me, like I can at least run up this hill or whatever. And it just gives me time to think. It gives me time to think. It gives me time to commune with God. And I feel that it makes me a better person. It makes me a better husband. It makes me a better father. But I also have to keeps things in perspective of like, I want to do well at this race. Like I do. I want to do well. I want to break 24 hours. I've never done that before. Last time I did this race, it took me over 25 hours. So I want to break 24 hours. Will I? I don't know. I'm not sure. I want to do good, but not because I want to show off. I just want to prove myself that I can work really hard at something. But my training has not, I'm not training like a pro runner. Like I'm not putting in 80, 100, 120 mile weeks because I just can't. I don't have the time. I'm not going to be a good father or husband if I do that. So I've got to keep that perspective. If I'm doing this to be a better person and be better for the people in my life and show up for them, well, I also have to show up for them, and I can't be gone running all the time. And so I've done the best I could with what I've got time-wise. And I asked my wife yesterday, I said, is this training, has it disrupted our life or has it been hard for you? And she's like, not really. It hasn't really been very different than what you've done normally. And that was my goal. And honestly, like I love the training. Like I don't mind it. I love it. It's not hard for me to do it. And so people that are running, that are watching this, you may relate. Like people are like, oh wow, I can't believe you got up and run. I'm like, man, I love that. Like it's not hard for me. There's other things in my life that are hard to do. That's not hard for me. And this training has been great. It's given me so much time to think and pray, and I've just enjoyed it. It's been awesome. So I'll be honest, like I'll be kind of sad when the race is over because it's like, man, I've enjoyed working towards this. And hopefully after this, I'll pick a couple other things that I can do in the next 12 months or something like that. But staying totally focused, this will be my last event of the year. And it's on my mirror every day. I read that and I'm focused on that. And I just want to go out and do a good job, but I want to have a blast doing it too. Like I just want to have a blast. I want to spread joy to everybody that I come in contact with. And it's going to get hard, but I'm kind of excited about that too, and to see how I handle it and push through it.